Hey guys, it's Madison, and this will be my peer review, my peer review vlog. So, first off, is that I enjoyed this class extremely. It was, I would say, not what I expected to the full extent, but kind of what I did expect because I've had Dr. Gower before in management class, and it's always a unique experience. And seeing how Dr. Gower sets up her classes in I believe the last one I took was online as well, but with the ambiguity of COVID and everything going on, it was a little wild. But overall, I really enjoyed it, although the ambiguity was not something I was prepared for. It was interesting to see how my peers reacted and adapted to that as well. One of the things for me that I definitely took away from my peers was that they are there to help you. They are there when your professor is not, your coworkers will be there when your boss is not, so on and so forth. Your team members will be there when your team leader is not. And so seeing how they took the schedule and how they took the syllabus or the calendar of exciting events, how they interpreted that was really interesting to me. As somebody who likes to keep a schedule, likes to write everything down in her planner and have everything nice, neat, and organized, I've learned to adapt to that. I will say that I did not do the best at doing that throughout this course, throughout these past 5 weeks. And that I commend my peers who have Erin, especially. Oh my gosh, she did an amazing job. Good job, Erin. Kudos to you. One of the things I took away though is that no matter the situation, no matter what is hitting us in the academic world, the medical world, or just real life in our everyday lives, that we need to rely on each other and not just be stubborn in our own heads thinking I can get this done. I don't need anybody to interpret what the syllabus says. I don't need to have the pride or be too prideful to email my professor, even though I was not the best at doing that. Apologies, Dr. Gow, you probably didn't hear from me. Or I have too much pride to message or email a classmate if I have a question about what's going on in class. That's really my biggest takeaway is you cannot always work independently. I'm somebody who works very independently. Not to say that I don't like teamwork or group projects, because I do, but when the syllabus is given to me, when instructions are given to me, no, I got it. Don't need help from anybody. I'll be fine. Oh, my camera's shaky. So that was the biggest thing for me. And I would say one of the most interesting things that I've taken away from this class is honestly how I'm about to teach and instruct my own leadership class. I, in January, was given a contract out here in Colonial Beach to teach their business classes, personal finance, leadership development, and a Teachers for Tomorrow course. And making these syllabi and making these lesson plans and seeing and going to learning how to use Canvas on the other side of what we as students are used to seeing, and learning how to set up Zoom meetings and seeing that when our professors are sitting there twiddling their thumbs like I don't know what's happening, that like I see that stress of it. And I don't know, like this class has given me a different perspective that maybe some of my peers don't have, and that's okay. Because you can still learn from people who are at different stages of life than you. I never expected to be a high school teacher at 20. This class and my capstone class were the last 2 classes I needed. And as of this Friday, I will be done at Mary Washington. So thank you, Mary Washington. But starting a whole new chapter straight out of college, teaching leadership development. And this, I guess for my peers, the most thing is learning from students. My students will be high schoolers, mostly juniors and seniors, not far off from my age or the age of my traditional classmates, my traditional student classmates. And it has been really interesting to me to see how different people learn and how different people react during times of uncertainty. Do I know now whether I will be posting videos every day for my students to watch, or will we be Zoom? Will we be synchronous, asynchronous? Will I leave ambiguity for this class, like this class has? Probably not. I don't think those students are ready for it necessarily, but it is something they're going to face, and maybe can take on my leadership development part 2 class. Who knows? But this class has definitely given me some insight into what you need to be a leader. And for me, the books we've read have touched and like hit me and made me think more and read more articles differently than the books that we had read in Dr. Gower's previous management class, because I was in a different phase of life. Yeah, it might have been a year ago, I believe I took it in the last fall, but it might have been a year ago, might have been completely different, not that long. I was 19, not 20, but they've hit me as you go through life and you learn, and it was different. It was really interesting seeing how my classmates who were, I'm assuming to be traditional students, and classmates who were not traditional students took this class. And seeing everybody being, and not everybody learns the same. I just learned that you can't, one, be stuck in your ways and be stubborn, and you're not alone on an island. We all work together at all times. You have to suck up your pride. And 2, that you can't assume how other people learn. You can't assume that for instance, I'm really good at math and I can see a problem and it's done. But I can't assume that my classmates have the same ability. I can't assume that in a class with ambiguity, they are succeeding just as well as me. Or I can't assume that since this is where I lack in skill, that they're 10 steps above me. This is how, what I saw Dr. Gower saying about comparing yourself to your peers gives you a lot of insight, and it gives you a lot of perspective about maybe how you are or as how I am as a leader. I see myself as somebody very, very organized, very task-oriented, and this class was probably not best structured for somebody. My learning style may have been because of COVID. That may have been because I was in the middle of moving. That may have been because it just wasn't for me and I wasn't as committed as I needed to be. And other students may have taken that time to be committed and really, really dig deep into the material. But with all that being said, I really enjoyed this class, and I think, well, not think, but I know it already has. It will impact me in the long run, and will be one of the class I remember most taking into my teaching career. It'll be a class we'll probably tell stories about to my professor, and it will be a class it will probably be a class I will tell stories about to my students in my classes, and I will mention students here, anonymously, of course, but I'll mention students like, I learned this way, but Jack Daniels learned this way, and Tommy Bean learned this way. And, you're, as a leader, you need to be either cognizant of that or grow your followers or your mentees as a mentor to face ambiguity with excitement and with knowing that they might fail and that they can ask questions. And this is just a class I've learned a lot from, and I've learned a lot from my peers. And it's mostly that, you're not alone, so don't be stubborn. And not everybody learns the same way, so you need to be mindful of that. Thank you.